Hi, this is Mary Kay with Country Music Matters, and we welcome Scooter Brown Band. Hi guys, welcome to Stoney's in Las Vegas.
Hey, how's it going? Good to be here.
It's good to have you here. We kind of know a little bit about you, but can you just kind of start us out in introducing yourselves?
Yeah, I'm Scott Brown, lead singer, guitar player, songwriter extraordinaire. This guy to my left is Steven Sutherland, bass player, harmony singer. Kerrigan Shields over here to the right, keyboard player. Nathan Lockhart, guitar player, and the feller that just walked in here, Matt Bledsoe, is the drummer.
Well, welcome, Matt. Glad you could show up.
I'm the drummer, right?
Glad you could make it.
Yeah. So you guys got together in 2005. How did that all come up to be?
Well, I started. I was stationed. I was in the Marine Corps, and I moved to Texas and just started playing acoustic in 2004. And things started going good, and the guy I was playing with at the time, we decided that we wanted to put a full band together, and so Matt actually came, and I don't know, did we even do an audition?
I think it was one of them jam night things that
oh yeah,
Conroe.
and so he signed on with us, and so Matt's been here the longest, and then everybody else just kind of fallen in place. Since then we've had guys come and go. But this group here has been, these guys are the newest. Kerrigan has been here for about a year and a half, and Nathan's been here for 2 years. So it just kind of came together, and we don't really have auditions. We're just like, hey, you seem like a cool dude. Want to play some music, man? You know? So,
Sometimes that works the best.
Yeah, absolutely.
That really does.
Best advice I ever got on putting together a band was, it's better to have really good dudes that are okay, good musicians, than to have really great musicians that aren't good dudes.
And you go double lucky.
That's right.
Now you were pretty much regional around Texas, and with some of your songs, the local songs that came out, what have you guys learned in that time span from when your first song started coming out up until your album now, American Son?
Yeah, so Texas was we stayed in Texas a lot regionally. We probably, we'd go out of state every once in a while, but we pretty much stayed down in Texas, and it was just a great. Texas is a really great scene that's got some amazing songwriters and talented musicians and singers, but it kind of like helped us prepare to go out on a national level, as far as being able to play as many shows as we did down in Texas, and the fan base that we started down there. And I'm so grateful that we got to be involved, and that we still are involved in that scene. But as a band, we've always wanted to venture out from that, and we want to play from the Pacific to the Atlantic, and we want to go overseas and play. And but it's just like anything. When you just learn on the ropes, and you learn something new every year, and you learn from your mistakes and from the things that you do right, and you try to apply that to the next year and make it bigger and better. And
you feel your music has totally progressed in the learning curve on how to make albums and how to better everything.
Absolutely.
Every album gets better.
Yeah, because you go back and listen to our first album that we put out in 2009, I think it was, the Between Hell and Texas album. It's not the same. It's not even close to being the same thing. The same band, and it's just that you grow as musicians and you get better. And when we all first started, we didn't know what we were doing. Like, we were just throwing stuff, throwing stuff at the wall, see if it sticks. Like, I personally didn't know anybody in the music business. I didn't know how to even start. So it was a really long learning process for us, because now we're in, over 10 years of doing this, and finally starting really to see all that hard work pay off with a lot of the recognition that we're getting from this last album.
Now, do you feel there's becoming more of a recognition for women in country music? Are there a lot of women in Texas? You don't really hear too much about them.
There's some, unfortunately, you don't hear much about them, but there's amazing talented women in Texas playing music and writing songs. And there's so many in Nashville too. especially writers. I mean, there's just so many women that are in the scene, but they just don't. I guess a lot of people have never heard of them, or they just don't get out. But like some of the brightest people in the music industry in Nashville are the women behind the scenes running things there. I mean, some of the best songwriters I've ever met are women. So, but in Texas, I mean, there's a handful of ladies down there that definitely deserve way more recognition than they're getting.
Sure.
Now, you guys have set, you have goals. What have you accomplished, and what have you yet to accomplish that you want to?
Did you say conquer the world? We definitely, this past year, when I was still in Texas, I think I told all these guys, I said, man, I'm going to go to Nashville, and we're going to go out on tour with Charlie Daniels. We're going to get a record deal. We're going to do this. And there was 4 or 5 major things, and we accomplished all those over this past year and a half, working up to it. But as far as like what we want from here on out, like we accomplished those things and kind of laid the groundwork down. But now we just, the most important thing, we just want to play music and be able to make a living at it. However that happens, we just want to continue to do what we love. And with that being said, obviously we want to grow our brand and grow the music, and we've been really fortunate this past year to do a lot of tour dates with the Charlie Daniels and Marshall Tucker Band and Travis Tritt, the Outlaws, and our buddies Whiskey Myers, and using what we gained off of those shows and the fans that we gained to eventually be able to go into those same venues as a headliner and sell hard tickets and then keep gradually going up from there. So it's just trying to continue to get better.
Now, how did you coax, or was there any coaxing to get Charlie Daniels involved in your recent single?
Charlie, so we are managed by a guy named David Corlew, and David Corlew has been with Charlie Daniels for 43 years. And so that's when David picked us up. That was one of the things he said. He said, man, you guys remind me of us and Leonard Skinner and some of the bands that we used to run with back in the 70s. Like, I said, love what you do, your style. And so we started doing some shows with Charlie, and Charlie became just a really great friend to us and a mentor, kind of took us under his wing. So when we asked him, he had a ton of stuff going on last year with getting into the Country Music Hall of Fame, and he just had his book come out that he's been working on all year. So we knew that he was really busy, but he was extremely gracious and was really happy to do it. That was one of those moments, like the first time I heard his voice on one of our songs, like I was just like,
I think I get chills every time I hear it.
Yeah, I do too. It's like
It's quite an honor.
it is. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome for a guy like Charlie Daniels to kind of sign off on us like that.
Now, when you open or share the stage or been with other artists, what do you take from them? What do you learn from the legends, per se?
I'll tell you what, I've learned, Charlie is just, the guy's 81 years old and still goes out and puts out one of the best shows out there, period, no matter who's playing. I'll put Charlie Daniels and his band up against anybody in this entire music business.
First class for sure.
But the thing that I love about Charlie is just watching him go out at 81 years old and give the fans that paid their hard-earned money to buy a ticket to come in, he goes out there and puts on the best show that he can possibly give them. And he's kind to people. He respects us as the opening band. He respects the fan. When he walks in, he respects the guy standing at the door taking the tickets. He respects the guy picking up the trash and bringing, and seeing that. And we've always been, I felt like, good dudes for the most part, and try to act like that as well. But seeing somebody just treat people with respect, and just put on the best show you possibly can.
Even on bad days.
Yeah, well, one of the things that I love about Charlie's book that came out was the title. It says, "Never look at the empty seats." And like, man, as musicians coming up in this industry, in this scene, there's so many nights where there's times when you're playing arenas with 10,000 people in it, and then the next night you might be in some hole in the wall with 8 people that could care less that you're there, you know? And that rung so true with me, because there's times when you kind of you look out there and you're going, what am I doing here? Sometimes, like, and it kind of brings you down. And since being with Charlie, like, those thoughts don't cross my mind anymore. Like, we're going to a place, and if there's only 10 people in there, they're gonna get the best dang Scooter Brown show they've ever seen, you know. And it's that 10 or 10,000 mentality that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And that's one of the greatest things I learned from Charlie.
Now, your take on streaming and the songwriters, and what's been going on with them, and the fight they have on this streaming industry.
You know, it sucks. I mean, what else? It sucks for the songwriters. I'm a signed songwriter myself with a publishing deal, so you know, and we write all of our music with the band. So, but with that being said, you know, I'm not crying about it. It is what it is. It's the days of people buying music at full price are pretty much over. It's streaming is the future, and so we have to figure out ways to get around it. I'm not going to complain about the way it is, because it is what it is. And obviously there's some things that they could probably do to help the songwriter out a little bit more, and those issues definitely need to be brought up. But at the end of the day, I'm going to try to figure it out the best way that we can do it and get down the road.
How do you feel the impact of social media has been?
100,000% amazing. I was talking to the guys with Charlie Daniels and Marshall Tucker Band, and how they used to have street teams actually go out and put posters up on every corner, and they had people that they, like, you know, snail mailed everything to, and like the amount of work that takes, when now it's all at your fingertips. And you know, pretty much everybody in this country has a phone stuck in their hand or to their face, you know, and so you can deliver all that content right there to that little device. And if it wasn't for social media, this stuff might have been over for us years ago, because I mean, social media is how we got our name out there. That's how, you know, we haven't had major radio play or anything like that. We've been a grassroots things from the beginning.
Now, what do you want to see? What is most important to you now in your career as it gathers steam and momentum?
Just to put out the best quality music that we can put out, to do the best show that we possibly can, and be respectful and nice to everybody along the way, you know.
Now, you were involved with Christmas for Kids this year.
Yes.
With Charlie Daniels, and you also involved with other charitable organizations. Talk a little bit about that.
First of all, Christmas for Kids is an amazing event. It was my first year to be a part of it, and it was really cool. You know, they bring out like 60 or 70 Prevost tour buses, and all these kids and their families get to go on a tour. These guys weren't here for it, so. Yeah, you saw it on social media, right? But they, all the kids come on, and it's just really cool, because they get to experience something and then they raise all the money, and they buy all these kids Christmas presents from the Walmart there, and they have an awesome Christmas. I'm huge, and I think we all are as a band. Anything involving kids, you know, we're 100% all in for it. And then, you know, military stuff, and because me being a Marine combat veteran, Matt, our drummer, is also a Army veteran. So military is near and dear to our heart. I'm the assistant director and co-founder of a nonprofit called Base Camp 40 Warriors in the Wild, and we take combat veterans on fishing and hunting trips all over the country, and then we actually do a concert once a year called Pick It on the Opinion, and then all the up in Colorado that all the money goes to veterans and stuff too.
So what's in store for the rest of the year?
Man, there's a lot of it left. We're gonna hit the road, and we're gonna work hard, and we're gonna write more, and we're gonna. I think that we're trying to put out another record this year. My goal is I want to put out new music every year, full-length albums. We're gonna do some videos, and we're gonna do a ton of tour dates, and we're gonna hit it hard.
Now, do you see yourself reaching out to USO to possibly get involved somewhere there to do shows?
Yeah, we actually we have reached out. We haven't gotten anything set up with USO. We did do an event last year. They brought us out to Iwakuni, Japan, to the Marine Corps Air Station out there, and we played a big festival. We headlined a festival out there at the on the Marine Corps Air Station base, and that was an amazing experience. You know, especially for me being a Marine and being able to go back, and I've always wanted to do that. Go back and play for my fellow jarheads. So that was cool, and we definitely are wanting to do more of that kind of stuff.
Well, you got anything else to say over here on the couch? Nothing? Nobody got anybody else? Come see it? Okay.
see us.
You guys need to see these guys.
Watch the show.
Watch the show. Check out their music. Where can people find you?
Follow us.
Yeah, website is scooterbrownband.com. That has links to all of our social media. Pretty much we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all under Scooter Brown Band or Scooter Brown BND. Those are the only three that I do because I have the patience to keep up with the rest of it.
Well, we thank you guys very much. Again, welcome to
man,
Vegas, and we look forward to seeing the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.